my producer. Pull from the hip, 4/5, I'm the shooter. Dog, I do ya. But the two don't discriminate, cause I shoot the guy next to ya. I can see right through.
Yeah, because good-looking motherfuckers are like girls. They don't really want to fight. They don't.
Hold on.
Craig's
a good-looking guy.
You play basketball. Stop it.
Okay, but what about our producer, Craig? He's a good-looking guy. What about
Let me see Craig. What do you look like? Let me see him. I'll let you know. Craig, let me see it. Because if you look like a fighter, you look like a damn fighter. We not good looking until we get money. So what Craig look like?
I don't know where this is going, but what are we doing right now?
That's Vincent put you in your leg. I'm in Atlanta. I gotta stop talking like this, man. I'm getting a little uncomfortable. I'm just saying, fighters are considered good looking till we get that bag, man. We just fight until we get that money.
Okay, so since I'm light skinned, I'm out. And so what about Skip? Skip's 6'7", so he got too much body to hit.
Yeah, Skip, nobody wants your ass, man. You too big, man. You gotta go meet you. Yeah, you gotta go hang out with Vince and meet you a basketball chick. You too big, man.
Okay,
yeah,
so that's the last one. So how about we set up a sparring match between you and Craig?
How tall is Craig?
Why do you try to get me to fight?
He's about 6'1", 6'2".
Craig, what you weigh?
250.
Yeah, we put your Everlast shirt on. We could do something.
We could do something.
Yeah. You gotta put the Everlast shirt on because I want to look good. You know what I'm saying? When you start leaking, I want everybody to know Kady did that. It was self-inflicted. yeah, you a big boy, man. You gotta put the Everlast shirt on. You do something.
All right, we back with the I Ain't Heard That podcast. We got another special guest. I'm gonna go ahead and turn it over to Vince. You want to go ahead and introduce him?
Absolutely, man. It's my honor to introduce my brother, the champ, my big brother out of Detroit, one of the best to do it. Ding, ding, ring the bell. Kady King. What's up, champ?
What's up, baby? Ring the motherfucking bell. you know what we do it around this bad boy. I'm loving this, y'all.
Man? Hey, man, I miss you too, man. Hey, I gotta say, well, you got to start out by saying, man, listen. When I was coaching college basketball up in Detroit, sometimes I'd be so stressed out. Every day, my man would come have lunch with me, so I ain't kill no kids, man.
always, man, always. You got to remember, that's a fight too. Basketball ain't no joke. It's just as big of a battle. I done actually seen players choke coaches, so it ain't no joke. It's a big responsibility, man. Other than that, what's been going on with you?
Oh, man, just working hard, not getting paid enough. Big Skip.
Something. Out of all the fighters we're gonna kick about today, what the first fighter we gotta start off with? See, I love. See, one thing about me, I don't like to overlook none of the local fighters. We were talking earlier about my man said he like Earl Spencer. I like Earl Spencer, but I know somebody beat him. My man like Sean Porter. I like Sean Porter, but I know a better style than Sean Porter. Every fighter that y'all got and I got fighters right at home that I admire way more than them motherfuckers because I know they could beat them kind of guys. So I want them kind of guys. I just wish everybody in Detroit had that kind of energy, that knew what they was about, because I know they could do it.
Okay, well, we got questions for you.
Yeah, I do. My first question for you, Kady, why Mackenzie? Out of all the high schools you could have went to, why Mackenzie?
Well, I had to go where they sent me, because since I ain't like no school, I just went wherever they sent me. That's all. Plus, the Mackenzie more like the Detroit Lions colors. That's one thing about them. Lions might be losing, but Mackenzie was winning back then, so it is what it is. So we were rivals with Cody.
Cody was good too.
Yeah, Cody was great compared to others. They basketball team, they had some bad boys that I personally knew we couldn't do shit with them. So Mackenzie was a school by choice. I didn't like school, never.
Okay. So Kady, I know back in the day, your name was already known. But what was it about Kronk Gym and that relationship that drew you there?
Role models, people that had responsibility. They knew their jobs. You know, if you're Tommy Hearns or Milt McCoy, Steve McCoy, Ricky Womack, you should know your job. When it comes to guys like me coming off the street, that we want to do something, but we don't have a life right now. It's your job to give us something to live for. They don't. These guys that fighting don't know that how important that is. When you get in a boxing, a grown man, it's like you're a kid learning from other grown men. My role models were the younger generation. My role models were guys like Obakar, Warren Kilgore, Michael Williams, Tony Hodge, Theodis Chambers, Marlon Thomas. See, I looked up to the little boys. The big guys, I didn't feel like they had the heart that the little boys had. The Boy Gardners and the Bones Adams. Man, I used to watch them little 14, 15-year-old boys, and this is what I would say, Vincent. If they could do this shit, I'm going to do this. I'm not going to let no little kid run 5 miles. I can only run 1 mile, 2 miles. So I got with them Herman Garden boys, and Eddie Carr would get out there and run. We went from 3 miles to 5 miles. Before you know it, I was able to run 7 miles, 10 miles. And I just want to do what the kids do. You get around older guys your age, on your level, they're lazy, like you. You get around children that don't show you no quit, you ain't going to show no quit neither. You're going to keep up with them. You know, it's like, you know, being a mentor, following them. So kids are good role models. You just can't let them know that. You see, you can't let a kid know I'm following you. I'm copying you, but I did that, you know. I go to Kronk back in the 90s. Don't forget, I started boxing January the 2nd. Eddie Carr actually had the gym open because they had some trials coming up with Obakar. And we know they was elite, so they gym stayed open. He had his own gym in Herman Guy. So I started boxing like January the 2nd, 1986. So we had a tournament coming up. About a year later, I get with Kronk. Now, this is what I do recall. My first sparring with Herman Garden, I had Andre Nelson, Cleveland Nelson, Kevin Banks, Derek Banks, and Darrell Banks. I had Cedric Boswell. I had Mitchell Hart. I had everybody at the gym used to actually beat me up. Little boys, listen, we told Vince, I'm talking about when I first started boxing, nigga, my lips stayed, but I got my ass beat by everybody. And I thought that was a bad thing. Listen, that's when it's time to quit. When you got like Cleveland Nelson fighting 140, 139, beating you up, but that's what I found out. No, it's a learning process. And believe it or not, getting your ass kicked comes with learning. Listen, say what you want to. It's kind of crazy how I'm saying it, but it comes with process. Now, this is how I know it's true. About 5 years ago, Michael Moore called me July the 7th, about 8 o'clock in the morning. He woke me up early as hell on my birthday just to tell me happy birthday. And we just got into a verbal conversation. We started talking about the good old days. He said, hey, man, what's the light-skinned guy with the big head that used to, like, box me all the time? I say, Andre Nelson. He said, man, let me tell you something. If it were for you, Andre Nelson and Bam, man, I wouldn't be the killer I am. Michael Moore said, y'all made me like this because y'all used to kick my ass. He ain't lying. Listen, man, we used to pound on Michael Moore because, man, you told him, listen, man, one person can't box Michael Moore. One person, Michael Moore, had you fucked up in the morning. You had to load up. You got to have 3 people wait for Michael Moore. And you make sure these 3 people could dish it and take it and avoid him dishing it. Man, Michael Moore was nothing to play with. So when he was complimenting me on what we did for him, I'm saying to myself, my face still hurt. My head, nigga, are you complimenting me after all that shit? You got to remember, he was 18-0 with 18 knockouts as light heavyweight. His key spar partner was me, Arthur Lawhorn, and Andre Nelson. This motherfucker punched like he dropping rocks on your ass. Vincent, man, listen, man. Listen, but let me tell you what made Emmanuel so sinister with his approach to boxing. For every fighter that he brought here, he had a fighter that was on his level. Like we had Michael Moore that wouldn't back up, but he was a southpaw, straight up puncher. Manuel Stewart go to bust when he go pick up Andre Nelson. Orthodox, straight up puncher. He don't back up neither. So imagine that. So when Manuel Stewart pushed it together, he said, "You're gonna be a world champion." He knew what he doing. He got world champions that I made in Detroit. He gonna make you a world champion off these made fighters already established. So man, believe me, when we would be in the gym and watching Michael Moore box Andre Nelson, it sounded like 38s going off. Pa, 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 pa. Man, listen, nobody's doing nothing. Nobody in the back. Everybody watching Andre Nelson and Michael Moore box because they wasn't boxing. They were straight up fighting. Straight up wars, man. Man, I miss Clark. One thing about that basement, even watching, you knew that guy was gonna be something. Even watching, you knew that this guy was gonna be something. There's so many fathers that brought their sons down there and let their sons watch for weeks. They brought their son down and made them part of the family. Man, you personally get involved with their kids, get their kids money, train their kids, man, you make you feel right at home. But we do the hard work. Guys like Bam, myself, Marlon Thomas, we come by K9, we teach the fighters. We the mentors. All the guys before the fight, we the Dominique Daltons, all them guys, they came up watching us. I know they did. They came up watching. They used to be right there looking shy. When they see us do remarkable, they be like that. Like, but we said ourselves, y'all gonna be a lot better than us. That's what eras are. We're this era. We're behind the Stephen McCoy and Tommy Hearns era. So we had a great era because we made a lot of world champions. Frankie Lyles, Jerome McCullum. Come on, Tony.
Is this era better than the last era?
Hell no. Hell, never. No, listen. There was after this generation of boxing now. Man, they got a lot of work to do. For one, they got to stop liking drugs. Listen, they got to leave that shit alone. They got to be positive. They came with like Adrian Barner. Anytime a guy made $4 million and still talking street shit, he don't understand his role out here in boxing, man. He don't get it. That's what you're trying to get away from. You want these fighters to follow you to the promised land, not follow you back to the hood. You got money, you back in the hood? Come on, man. Who the fuck does that? So a lot of these guys get the misconception of what happens once you become something. You get away from trouble. You avoid the hood. You keep your level of respect. You come back and give, but you avoid that. Adrian Barnes is the most depressing fighter out right now because he's multi-talented. I mean, he's a bad boy, Vincent, but that street shit is out the window when you come from the streets for real, man.
My question for you, Kady. I asked all my friends who box. What pulled you to boxing? Did you fight a lot as a kid?
Exactly. My little ugly ass kept a busting nose. My bullshit up, man. I got my ass kicked a lot. Really, I did. Just never by no girls. You know, I had like two neighborhood bullies, John Stevenson and LeBron, that kept me in place. You know, so I know their names. So when you got bullies you idolize, it's good that they were bullies. This is what people don't understand about bullies. Bullies are father figures. You might know. Listen. Let me tell you what happens if you don't have a father. You feel like you can cuss at home. You feel like you do what you want. You ain't got to clean up your room, a lot of shit. When them bullies catch up with your ass, you can't wait to clean up your room. You can't wait to be listen, man. Hey, man, listen. Listen. They put you in your place. You only tough at home. You know, I'm the oldest, so I'm tough to all my little brothers and sisters. But, man, that walk to school, knowing that when I'm out, I might run across these two guys. They're like, man, shit. So I got to that boxing shit. Thanks to my brother Dan, about 18, I wasn't sure about myself. And I started doing it. Believe it or not, it was hard. But like I said, you gotta like put in your heart that you gotta do it. If you put in your heart you gotta do it, not want to do it, you can become something, man. It was rough. You know, if you don't become about a sparring partner but get everybody else somewhere, you becoming something, you know, that mattered in the sport of boxing. So I don't know. You know, today, that's how fighters kicked it where I come from, man. I always had lectures. Before we would go out and work out, Tommy coming in the back, sit down and talk to all of us. K-Man Lee coming back, sit down and talk to David Braxton. All the greats would come back there and sit down with me and Marlon and Gerald and talk to them, tell us great shit. Then we go out there, work out like a mud, man. So not only did we have sparring and fighting, we had mentors and role models around us, man. All the guys that I grew up watching on TV, it was great to go to Crunk, Vincent, because they was down there. See, they don't know how I look at them. I'm on their shit like a mother. I'm like, this is like Jeff Thompson. This is, you know, we didn't have no Michael Moore. We had Hill McKintays, Milton McCoy. We had real fighters around. Jimmy Paul. You go to Northland, you see these motherfuckers. They average people, the people that don't box. But the boxers, we knew who the fuck Dwayne Thomas was, John Johnson, Milton McCoy, Stephen McCoy. I follow these guys. Them all look like a damn stalker. Every time they look at me, I turn my head like I don't see them, but man, I go follow them motherfuckers to the ball. I want to be like that. I want to be as popular and respected as the world. One thing about boxing in the city of Detroit, if you box, you're respected by like a god. Everybody knew you kick ass. Like that boxing shit put your, even with Steve McCoy, he was a little guy, but everybody knew his brother was Mill McCoy. So the respect was like, shit, he little, but you know that Milton brother. So man, boxing was the shit, man. If you boxed, your daddy was a known fighter. Your respect was on your daddy's level. The sport ain't like that no more. The respect is not, you know, what it was, you know, like it used to be. You know, where we come from, Vincent, we see Aaron Pryor Jr. at Fairlane, knowing who his daddy is. We're going to follow that motherfucker around. We're going to follow Aaron Pryor Jr. because his daddy was such an impact on the sport of boxing. In our generation, he's worthy to take pictures with him and ask him questions and shit like that. people don't admire fighters like that no more. They got more pride, you know, treat them mediocre and shit. Don't give them the attention they deserve.
So when did you know you were good?
When I could take Tommy Hearns' right hand, I knew I was decent. When I could take that shit, let me tell you something. I don't get credit for this, but I tell people this a lot. I used to teach guys like James Toney. I don't take credit for it, but I basically taught him how to fight. And it was funny because I went through the trial of tribulation where I went away for like 9 months or 2 weeks. And while I was in jail, I actually watched him become a world champion. So when I got out, I couldn't wait to box because I was telling everybody how I used to get on him and drop him, and I'd be kicking his ass, right? Shit. Let me tell you something about that little black motherfucker. When he won that world title, and I thought I was going to go over to his gym, he had his own gym that kick his ass, man, James, Toney, and Bill Miller. It wasn't just James. They had a straight up beef with me. Man, listen. Woo, I could tell by looking at Bill's eyes. He was looking at me like, boy, you don't know. We got something for your ass, man. I boxed James Toney that day. After he just beat Michael Nutt. He hadn't fought again. I fought him after he won the IBF title. I said, you know what? This motherfucker done got bad. Then I said, this is not the same James Toney I was sparring about a year ago before I got caught up in that. He was world champion. He was gonna let me know. You know, whoever got in with him, no, Kady, I ain't no little boy no more. Listen, I ain't no little fella no more, fella. I'm the IBF. I just beat the baddest man on the planet. You know, Michael Nutt was the baddest motherfucking middleweight on the planet. And I even picked Michael. I like, we know that was a good fight for Jay, but he gonna get his ass beat. And he was losing that fight, easy. So remarkable things happen when I work with people. You know, it ain't too many guys I work with, they didn't become world champions. I kid you not. My thing was just survival. I'm 54 years old thanks to boxing. I didn't become a world champion probably because I was already established in my ways. I should have done more, but I watched Gerald, Michael Moore, Frankie Lyles, Greg White. I watched so many cats come up to where they should and do what they should have done. So I was proud for those reasons alone. I did my job. I did my job.
That leads into my next question, Kady. Who are some of the boxers you looked up to growing up?
Man, if I told you all of them, would that be hard to keep up with?
Give me your 5. Give me 5 that you looked up to growing up.
Obakar, Tommy Hearns, James Toney, Leon Barber. And I gotta say this, man, this guy was a bad motherfucker. His name was Warren Kilgore. Woo! Let me tell you about this Warren Kilgore guy. When I first started coming around this guy, he was built like a little bitty Shane Mosley. And he was built like Shane, but he was 15. And that's weird, right? He was actually built like a man, but 15. Ring the motherfucking bell. This was the coldest kid I've ever seen fighting, right? He was more talented than Obakar. Oba was just more driven and more the one that they pushed. But Warren was the most talented. I found out how talented Warren Kilgore was because back in 1987, he was like a junior Olympian. He had a fight like this guy that was like the #1 cat from Kronk, and his name was Marcellus Moore. Now, what I know about Marcellus Moore was straight up knockout artist. Him and his brother, Roger Moore, was like the coldest average. So we didn't want to fight him. But Eddie Carr don't back down. And Eddie Carr feel like he had the elite teenage kids. Eddie Carr and Boy Gardner had like the best fighters as far as the little boys in the city. Boy Gardner Jr., Obakar, Warren Kilgore, them guys. So if anybody gonna fight Marcellus Moore, it's gonna have to be somebody on that level that can handle him. So Marcellus Moore knocks out everybody. It's an amateur that knocks out motherfucking kids, which is very embarrassing if your kid getting knocked out at 14 or 15 years old. But this is what this motherfucker do, right? He finna fight Warren Kilgore. And man, this is the fight. We talk about everybody's there. Warren Kilgore beat him, but they had Warren Kilgore knocked out about 2 times. And I said, Warren Kilgore, a bad boy to even weather that storm. He was out twice. And I'm telling you, the prediction was he was going to get knocked out. But he was so tough and so driven. That was probably the most prestigious fight he's ever won, fighting Marcellus Moore back in 1987. That fight was like that. Amateurs were like professionals. That's how, like, we had this one guy named Bones Adams who became the IBF world champion at like 130, 126, something like that. He used to fight Third Chambers. And sometimes he would fight Boy Gardner Jr. Those three connecting. Whenever those three fought, man, the whole city was there. Everybody would come there, man. I mean, sold out crowds. And these were amateurs. We had a great amateur coordinator named Jerry Hauser. He put the best amateur show together, man. So I couldn't wait to turn pro, just off the amateur energy alone in Detroit. So those are my inspirations.
So let me ask you this. Getting ready for a fight, come fight night, Does it make it easier when you know that the guys you done fought in the gym are probably tougher than the guy that you're about to fight?
You know what? It doesn't make it easy. It just lets you know where you come from. So it makes you more confident. You know what I'm saying? I'm glad you said that, Vince, because one thing about that, when I would be in the gym boxing, yeah, like Tommy and Leon Barber and all them guys, I wasn't worried about nobody I fought. Man, ain't nobody I fight. I'm not going to fight nobody better than Tommy. I'm not going to fight nobody better than Leon Barber. I'm not going to fight nobody who's going to beat me up worse than Marlon Thomas. So I'm not worried, man. One thing about all of us at Clark, we didn't have no fears. Our hardest work was in the basement. Shit, they didn't ring the damn bell, man. The other shit easy. I'm telling you, everybody else easy. You can ask Dominique Dalton that. They will tell you that they most intimidated sparring is the Mars one another. Our bullshit, Vernon Perez, he tell you his best work was in the basement. Dominique Dalton, man, anybody outside of us ring the bell. They kill us outside the gym. The basement is where we learn. We learn to execute our shit. But man, when it's time to fight, shit, kill us. All of them kill us. I understood that. I was never a good gym fighter. Never.
So my next question for you, Kady. What are some of your favorite, some of the young generation boxers from Detroit, like a Tony Harrison or Dominique Dalton or Ed Williams? How do you reach back out to them guys? Do you know?
Well, what it is right now, they're not active. I fuss at them guys. See, I'm a big brother. So you gotta remember this, man. I'm a big brother. This is how it go. I wouldn't have did shit in boxing if them guys that pulled me to the side. You gotta remember this. I did everything they told me. If you smoke weed and you influencing me, I might smoke weed. If you don't smoke weed, I'm gonna follow you to the grave. See, whatever you don't do, I'm not gonna do because I want to be what you are. It's not like that no more. See, it's not like that. You can't cheat in nothing you do and be successful. I learned that. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if all these guys. Let me tell you something. Even if the fighters were cheating back then, they didn't want me to cheat. So that's good enough for me. Today, they don't balance out like the level that we need to balance out on. Like in my era, I never seen nobody smoke weed, never seen anybody do none of that shit. And that's good because I'm not gonna be around you if that's what you do. You know, the sport of boxing was so prestigious. I would get up and run like late at nights or something. And people see me running my car so they know it's me. They pull up, blow. You need a ride? No, I said, no, I'm just jogging, but that kind of love and respect I just got in the city. Boxing is like the most prestigious sport because everybody supports a person that fights because they know you're fighting more than just, it's beyond the sport. You're fighting demons. Boxing is tough. You know, a lot of people be drug addicted, personal shit going on, broke, you know, so when you look at boxing, you're fighting to become something. You're fighting to get out of poverty. You're fighting to become more than what you are. You fight for health reasons. It's a lot. You know, you could die just like having a baby. You know, boxing can kill you. So I love the sport, man. I mean, I took it. I know I took it by the wings, man. I did something with it. You know, I became world rated in the amateurs. I became world rated as a pro. I'm proud of myself. I'm very proud of myself, man. Because I know I'm alive right now because of my whole mindset of the sport itself. So if it weren't for the sport of boxing, my respect level for men, I would have been out of here. You know, because I didn't respect people a lot, call people out their names, very disrespectful. Street shit, boxing, kicking your ass, making you bleed, like, you know, you're a human being just like us. You are average, Joe. Be happy in no guns, because they could beat you up like that. You know, they could shoot the shit out you too. So you learn a lot boxing. Boxing makes you become a man, whether you like it or not. Square business. So that's the level I know, man. Whether you like it, you gonna become a man at boxing, man. You're not gonna be no street guy. You're not gonna be no thug. You're gonna become a man in the sport of boxing, because they're gonna beat the shit out you and make you become a man. You're gonna do two things. You're a street guy, you're gonna quit. Think about street guy gonna quit. He got no man in him, he gonna quit. No, if you stick around, you ain't no street guy. You a real man. Boxing makes you a man, not a street dude, man. So that's what, you know where we come from, Vincent.
Speaking of that, Kady, explain how much your relationship with Tommy and Emmanuel meant to you.
Well, they're lifesavers. You know, Emmanuel personally saved my life. I've been in some troubles before outside of boxing. He kept it to himself. Lifesaver. Tommy, always there for a person. You know, just one of them kind of guys. Well, put it like this: they know their role, and this is what I love about Emmanuel and Tommy, because I know they didn't leave nobody out. Everything that I got out of boxing from them guys, I'm sure they gave to Dominique. I'm sure they gave to Vernon. I'm sure they gave to Isaiah. They all got the same love. Let me tell you something. When I come up with a crowd like this, I have to watch Isaiah Thomas, John Jackson, the Boney brothers, Vernon. I used to watch them all stand in line and get handwork from Sugar Hill and Emmanuel Stewart. And just getting handwork for both of them. I said, man, you know what? Just think when they get up there with us, there's gonna be some bad mother. That's all I thought. Like, we talk about us. We watched these guys before us, but these guys grew up watching us. So we know these are gonna be some bad look. That's all we say. Me, Tommy, Marlon, we always say, like, man, these guys gonna be colder, and they did. Like, so we know, I don't know if they say that, but I know that for a fact. A lot of us from Clark, we all learned how to fight as good as we did watching those before us. I'm telling you, a lot of us developed great jabs watching Milt McCoy jab, Jimmy Paul jab, Tommy Hearns jab, Greg White jab, Leon Barber jab, my jab. Everybody in Crunk had real good jabs. That was just the one punch that we were gonna make sure that you understood. We from the Crunk boxing gym. All of us got superb jabs. Look at Tony Harrison. What you look at Tony, man? Let me tell you. You look at Tony Harrison fight with both Teddy Farcello. Man, if he didn't do nothing but out jab him so bad, his jab was so down. Man, Tony Harrison, that was the best jab I've ever seen displayed in a fight in a very long time. That first Charlotte fight, every time Charlotte did something, that jab was right in his face. I'm like, whoa, come on, man. Tony Harrison mimicked that. So you know, Matthew Stewart looking down, rolling. You know, Matthew was like, boy, Detroit, you know how he probably like Tony Harrison, Matthew like, motherfucker. Okay, your daddy could take the credit, but he know I put some of my pedigree in that bad motherfucker. Man, you know that. Tony, you could take the bloodline and say, Tony Harrison, daddy, Ali a bad boy, right? I'll come up with him. But Emmanuel Stewart is very proud. Henry Hill, anybody that fuck with Tony Harrison, he took that shit he got from them and he kept it. Watch anybody he fight, man. You got to listen, that motherfucker, you got to actually knock him out to win. That says a whole lot about his style. That says a whole lot about his skill set. You cannot beat him style-wise. You have to knock Tony Harrison ass the fuck out to beat him because his style, superb boxer. Superb boxer. I'm telling you what it is, superb boxer. He can outbox any fucking body. And let me tell you the real shit about that. Isaiah Thomas can. Dominique Dog. I'm telling you the real shit, man. Listen. All them motherfuckers are superb boxers. The elite. So Tony Harrison superb. Dominique Dog superb. Boney brothers are white boys, right? Superb boxers. Isaiah Thomas, these are superb boxers. Not punchers. Not all that rough, raw shit. Superb boxers will make you look like shit. But it's all up to them because you got to be in real good shape to be that. You got to be in real good shape to be that, man. That's all it is, man. I love the locals more than I do any fucking thing in boxing. I like Sean Porter, but I like Earl Spencer, but I know a guy that beat Earl Spencer, and he don't even talk about it. It's quite business, so.
Because that's the rule. You can't talk about
the rule. I know a motherfucker beat Earl Spencer, and he didn't say it. He got a trainer that taught me how to fight. Fights told me. Blue didn't say Fight said, man, yeah, I took Blue out of town. He beat Earl Spencer. I'm like, Blue beat Earl Spencer. Like, yeah. He put his hand up to him. I'm like, yeah, we don't say nothing about that. Well, I'm going to say something about it. Like, I'm going to say something about it. Blue beat Earl Spencer. Yeah, the amateur. Blue, I had to call him and ask him. Leandre White beat Earl Spencer like it was shit and don't even say nothing about it right now. But at the same time, this is how good Leandre White is. He had Tony Harrison number 2. That's the one guy Tony Harrison gonna get by. That's how good he is. Tony Harrison gonna get by him. And now they done fought 3 times. Some of them since, and a lot of people say Tony Harrison won one of them, but I'm gonna run it by you again. Leandre White is that good that a lot of guys just couldn't get past him. Now he has some health issues why he's not relevant today, but that's one of the fighters that I wish was relevant because we got our own Earl Spencer. He a bad, but listen, the motherfucker bad. Everything that's out here right now, we got that. Michigan got it. Detroit got it somewhere around that bitch. Believe me, we got all that hot shit. You know, so I don't like giving credit to these guys that getting the money they don't deserve. We got guys that could get it.
Your favorite fights that you had of all time, like a favorite fight that you just remember like it was yesterday?
My favorite fight would have to be, I fought Larry Prather, and he was a fighter that I was really intimidated of, believe it or not. Let me tell you why I was intimidated of him. He always wanted to fight me. And that's intimidating. When a motherfucker know you can fight, but he don't. See, let me tell you about my era coming up. We wasn't scared of nobody. We got Ohio guys that want to fight Detroit guys. We got Detroit guys that want to fight Ohio guys. Wasn't no punking out back then. Wasn't no money involved, but Larry Prather always called out Leon Barber. He always wanted to fight local. So he called me out one day, and I was a little intimidated of him. But he picked me at a bad time because he picked me when everybody in Detroit was gonna be there to see me fighting. And you're not gonna beat me with the whole city there. That's not gonna happen. I hate to put you on drugs at a bad time, but I'm gonna fuck you up. Really. If we talk about the mayor, every fine motherfucker in the city gonna be there to watch me fight. And you think I'm gonna let you come from Ohio and beat me up? Man, please. I tore his ass up. That was one of my group fights. And the bad part, let me tell you what was good about it. I went the distance. I didn't knock him out. I went like 8 rounds and beat him up real bad, which was really sweet because everybody never see me fight. They never see my style set. They just always see me stop people. So they was really impressed with me going 10 rounds and winning the way I did. So that was one of my most impressive fights.
Okay. Talk to me about the Kronk way. Because my understanding was the Kronk way, you don't let a fight go the distance. No, Tyson Fury just spoke about it during this last fight. He said he had to come to Kronk to get the Kronk way.
Well, I'm gonna tell you what that was. That wasn't Tyson Fury. That was Sugar Hill. If you know J.B. Hill, that wasn't Tyson Fury. That was J.B. Hill putting that fire in that motherfucker, man. You don't go out there and try to knock out a Deontay Wilder. See, that ain't what you do. So when I look at that fight, that wasn't Tyson Fury at all. That was J.B. Hill crazy ass, man. That's a Manu nephew. He do that kind of shit. Let me tell you about these motherfuckers. About with Manu Stewart being his nephew, with Manu Stewart being J.B. Hill's uncle, it's a big torch that Hill has to carry. So Hill have to do the same thing that Manu do, live up to the potential, do shit that people don't expect you to do. Who the fuck would have predicted Tyson Fury stopping Deontay Wilder? Nobody. Hill. That's what JB Hill is, mastermind. See, we done went the distance, they done robbed you, so we not taking that route. Put your weight on. Listen, get fat, put that muscle on. Man, Sugar Hill a beast like that. And I thought about it. I said, damn, Tyson Fury coming in big, and I called Bam. You know, Bam always on Kronk's side. He said, Tyson Fury gonna stop Deontay Wilder. He didn't say beat him, he said he gonna stop him. Arthur Lohan, Bam, Vince. I said, Bam, you sure? And Bam is crazy, right? But that's how he is. If he say something, this shit always, he was the only motherfucker said Tony Harris is gonna beat Charlo. And I was like, no, Bam, I wanted to. He like, Kady, watch. He gonna beat, I said, you think he like, I said, okay, I'm going with you. Same thing with Tyson Fury. He said he gonna stop him. Guess what? We all know Sugar Hill. Sugar Hill's a hit maker. That's what he do. His daddy, his uncle, same way. It ain't about, we went the distance. Y'all robbed us. Jamie Hill gonna come in with a different strategy, put that weight on, go to that motherfucker. Come on, Vince, you seen that fight. They beat the shit out. Listen, man, Sugar Hill made Tyson Fury beat the shit out of Deontay Wilder. He actually bullied him. He beat him up. That was the worst fight. That was the worst display I've ever seen. He beat him up. He didn't want one. He just beat the shit out of him, man. Bloodied him up, pounded him. That was Sugar Hill all day, all fucking day, man. Ask anybody from Detroit. That was Hill. Put a hit on his ass. He put a straight up. We ain't going the distance. We see how they gonna do it. The politics. Get his ass. That was Jamie Hill. That's that shit that Manu do. Manu go for knockouts. Think about it. That's his nephew. Knock his ass out. You big enough, you go get him. He didn't hit you with his hardest shot and knocked you down. You got up. Go get his ass. Kronk mentality, they come off like retards, but they get shit done. Listen, man, Tommy Hearns, Mil McCoy, Jimmy, all those motherfuckers were made fucking Hitman. Tommy just carried the title for the nickname about, man, that's all Kronk was. The Hitman. Joe McCullum, come on. Joe wasn't but a Hitman. No, Michael Moore, nobody Hitman. That's all they do, man. Everybody follow Tommy Hearns' trend. Get motherfuckers out of there. Man, you try to put that responsibility, say he trained all of us to be like that. No, everybody followed Tommy's trend. Man, you still more money in knockouts. He knew what he was talking about.
Let me ask you this then. My next question for you. Is Floyd the GOAT?
Who?
Floyd Mayweather.
What about him?
Is he the GOAT?
Yes, he is. He's the best fighter in the world.
Can you elaborate?
I don't say much about him because he's established. We don't have to talk about him. He is. His record, money, lifestyle. See, that's one person we can never, he will always be the GOAT, man. Anybody with that kind of finance from boxing? Shit. We ain't talking about what he worth. We talking about what he makes still, and he's retired. He is the GOAT.
Now I gotta follow up. Roy Jones Jr. in his prime. We talking about boxing skills, not money made. We're talking about talent. Roy Jones Jr., Floyd Mayweather.
Roy Jones against anybody. That's like asking Ray Leonard against Floyd. Ray Leonard against anybody. No, anybody. People can say what they want when I say shit like that, but Floyd wouldn't beat a Tommy Hearns at 147. Floyd wouldn't beat a Durant at 147. Floyd wouldn't beat a Ray Leonard. You know that. Come on, man. We talking about real killers. He would have beat Durant with that shit. He wouldn't beat Leonard at all. He damn sure would have got through Tommy shit back not at 147. So, I mean, we could talk about what if, but it's a thing of the past. No, it'll never happen. So it is what it is. But as far as my opinion, on my personal thoughts, when I look at their styles, Floyd they have nothing for them. He waits. You can't wait with Durant. You can't wait with Leonard. You damn sure don't want to wait with Tommy. So take that for what it's worth.
When you was boxing, did you feel like Detroit supported you like how they supported the rest of the boxers?
They had to. I stayed in the city. I have no choice. I followed Tommy's blueprint. I do a lot of your fighting in the city. Show your love. Always fight in the city. Always, no matter how much you make, no matter what you do, you make sure you get back to the streets like that. Any fighter that didn't do that, they'll never be a legend in their own hometown. Because people will never forgive you. They'll never forgive you for not representing your hometown. We got fighters that wasn't from Detroit. They always want to represent Detroit. They fucked your future up like that. I'm from Detroit. You know what I'm saying? People are proud to see you advance and do something that represents the city. So that's what I did. Despite where I came from, I want to really become something big for the city,
Okay, talk to me a little bit about some guys that should have made it big but never did. Ricky Womack.
Awesome person. Let me tell you about him. I was scared of Ricky Womack. Let me tell you why I was scared of him, because he wasn't stable. When I got into boxing, my brother used to always tell me he was a very good fighter, but he just wasn't stable. And when you say a fighter is not stable, you got to remember, we already fight. So we're not scared of shit. So when you're not stable, I'm going to keep my distance, because I'm not stable. So, and I can't beat you, so I'm going to keep my distance. So, but I liked and respected Ricky Womack. But I had a good story about him. Back in 1984, when I was in the book Cadillac, he had jumped out of the ring after boxing, I think Reginald Holmes or Bell, but he jumped out of the ring, he stepped on my toe really hard. And I was like, hey, man, and he just looked at me and went back to the bathroom. So I followed him. I was mad at him. I'm not going to get off until when I followed him and why I followed him and what it was I had on me, but I followed him. And my brother stopped me and said, hey, man, hey, leave that alone. And I showed him what I had. My brother said, listen, you got to use that fuck with him. I was 17. My brother told me he said, listen, man, you got to use that. That motherfucker crazy. And that alone, that was a bite. Listen, I left Ricky alone. I took that shoe print on my toe. I kept it moving. I said, fuck it. My brother told me, I'm looking. He said, listen, you got to use that motherfucker. He ain't scared of shit. For real. I seen him fight Evander Holyfield. He proved it. Ricky Womack was a monster, man.
Didn't he beat Evander Holyfield twice in the Olympics?
They were the two. It was Evander Holyfield and Ricky Womack. They were the two.
My next question for you: Who are, if you had to say pound for pound, the best heavyweight champion of the world? Who would you give that title to?
Mike Tyson, by far. That's who entertainers are. If we've ever been excited about any fight in the heavyweight division, all of us in our era, in our lives, it would be Mike Tyson. My favorite heavyweight of all time would be Larry Holmes, by far. Everybody like Ali. I love Ali. I met him before. I love his daughter, but Larry Holmes is my favorite heavyweight of all time. Then Ali. Then Mike Tyson. Then Lennox Lewis and all them guys. But Mike Tyson, I would have to personally say, had the most impact on me. Plus, I favor him. When I was an average, everybody said I looked like Mike Tyson. I was proud of that shit. You better believe that. I was geeked. Like, for real? Like, yeah. So hopefully that was scared them. They didn't care. They wanted to kick my ass anyway. Me looking like Mike didn't give me no slack. Some of them hit me harder. Shit.
Wasn't Lennox Lewis a crowd guy?
No, he was down there. Let me tell you what Lennox did. When me and Tommy used to bike, Lennox used to cheer for me. Yeah, boy. Yeah, I had that impact. Lennox cheered for me. Let me tell you, this is a good one too, Vince. Listen, Derek Jefferson come down to Clark one day. We got Henry Akawani down there.
Derek Jefferson, Martin Luther King, just had to throw that in there.
Listen, man, let me tell you how I met Derek Jefferson. Derek Jefferson come down in the cringes of Clark. Now, he not a Clark fighter. So we all got on yellow shorts. We all got, it's red and gold. That motherfucker, he got on black King shit. But he from Detroit, so he represents, and he can fight. He finna box one of ours. So Manu setting him up. He boxed a motherfucker about 7'1". Derek about 6'3", but he got to hold his own. Man, this motherfucker trying to crack Derek, right? They get in a real fight. They hit each other up the bed. They going. So everybody in Clark cheering for Henry Akawani. I'm popular. I went off for him. I said, man, fuck that. Get his ass, Derek. Go there. So I started cheering for Derek. Everybody cheer for him, Rakawani, the Croc guy. I'm cheering for Derek Jefferson, the Detroit guy. That's how we met. We been like this. Every fight, he would never forget that, man. My impact mattered to him because it made him fight harder. And he liked it because he felt like everybody was against him, and he from Detroit. I said, not me. I don't know that motherfucker. I'm from Detroit. Hey, man, Derek Jefferson always stepped up, man. He has never, ever let me down. That motherfucker stepped up to the plate, man. I got a lot of fighters that come up with me I'm so proud of. That's one of them.
Okay, I got a Derek Jefferson story. You know, I went to King. So Derek and his brother Kenyatta, they the reason I didn't play football. Because I was like, there's no way I'm letting them hit me.
Yeah,
there's no way I was gonna let them hit me. I'm a basketball player. They taught me what it was. Sticking basketball, that's my lane.
Wow, are you serious?
I wasn't no football player because I wasn't letting them dudes hit me, man.
Well, but I'm told they could hit. Derek Jefferson was that deal in boxing. Derek Jefferson, it wasn't even his skill set. It was his heart and his determination. Derek fought with a lot of determination, man. You got to actually kill him to beat him. That's how he was. I don't know if you remember when he fought David Izar on HBO.
Yes.
Let me tell you how the fight went. That was the first fight we ever see the motherfucker actually get tired of beating the shit out of motherfucker. You remember that fight? Man, Derek Jefferson beat the shit out of him. He just quit.
Yeah.
So we in our barbershop cracking up with anything, man. You see that fight? I said, yeah. I said, I have never seen a fight. So a motherfucker just get exhausted beating the shit. I said, man, Jefferson was beating him. I said, you know what? David Isaac can take it. And Derek just ran out of gas. He hit him with everything. And the guy just stood there and fought him back, man. Derek just said, fuck this shit. We cracked up on that shit. That was like the funny fight I was saying, because he didn't lose. He didn't get beat up. He just couldn't go to this and beat the motherfucker up, man. That was a funny fight ever. Oh, Detroit fighters make me laugh, man.
One of my favorite segments of the shows is cut, bench, start. So I'm gonna give you 3 boxers, and you gotta. Okay, it'll be one you'll go see, one you won't go see, and if you ain't had nothing to do, you'll go see this fighter. Deal?
Okay, let's go. But see, then again, I be cheeky. I told you, I'm a jocker. I'm a heavy jocker of local fighters. So I don't have a favorite. They're all my favorites. You know what I'm saying? Like, I done seen them at their best. You got to remember, I've been around all these motherfuckers, they were little boys, 12, 13, 14. So I've seen their ups and downs. When I say they bad, when I say they go off fight, I've seen them at their best or whatever level, whether it was average or pro. So they're all the elite to me until they prove different. A lot of the fighters we got now in Detroit, that's not what they should be, but because of their personal lives. A lot of peer pressure out there. They don't have the contract. Let me tell you some real shit. We got a lot of Earl Spencer and Tony Harrison, not the only motherfucker that should be financially established. We got talent. They don't have the right managers, the greet their talent. They don't have the right people that can push them. Like let's say if Al Heyman had every fighter in Detroit, every fighter in Detroit would be world champions. Craig Lewis, Derek Banks, they wouldn't be fighting for money. They wouldn't be fighting and losing. These motherfuckers fight, man. I done boxed a lot of these guys. I done been around these motherfuckers. I'm a savage. When I tell you motherfucker fight, I'm not talking because I like them. I'm talking because I know they can really become more than what they are right now. This is shit I know, man, but they don't nobody behind them or push them. And a lot of them ain't got the right people behind them. But if Al Heyman had all the Detroit fighters, all these motherfuckers would be world motherfucking champions. Just our pedigree in that basement alone. We got this one kid. He up there with Paul Susie, Great Lakes, little bitty guy. I seen him fight James Gordon. Now let me tell you something. When I seen him fight James Gordon, I said, now let me tell you something. I don't know much about him, but if he beat James Gordon, he the truth. He beat James Gordon, and they battled. He took James Gordon punches and everything. I said, wow, man. So what I'm trying to realize, all the guys that I've been paying a lot of attention to, they still relevant, but we got guys that's multi-talented outside of Detroit that a lot of us ain't catching up on. And this guy, Great Lakes, I don't know, he a little good-looking kid, brown eyes. He beat a bad motherfucker. So I know he goes for any cover. He got the WBO belt anyway. He got the Intercontinental WBO, so he relevant to the motherfucker. And got under like 20 fights. He didn't got a lot of fights. So we got some bad motherfuckers. It's just about who's going to handle those guys or who's going to put them in position of power.
All right, so you ready for your cut, bench, start? So we're going to go Mikey Goodwin, your boy Thomas the Hitman Hearns, and we're going to go Hillmore Kenton, Kenty. You got to Tell me the one you're gonna go see, the one you ain't going to see, and the one that if you ain't have nothing to do, you'll go see.
I'm going to see Tommy. I'm not going to see Mickey, and I like Mickey, but I might go see him with Kente. Okay. Now, let me tell you why. I got to see Tommy because Tommy's a role model, and he mattered to me. I'm not going to see Mickey because Mickey knocks everybody the fuck out. And I go see him with Kente only because he fights. See, him with Kente's style, he didn't have a style. Ring the bell. That motherfucker was the truth. I've been watching him with Kente fights like for the last 2 days. I said, how the fuck did he become a world champion fighting like this? He didn't do a lot of MMA, man. He actually fought you. A good-looking motherfucker, looking pretty boy, ring the bell, trying to kill you, man. He actually fight you. I'm like, damn, so I don't know what it was. Man, you put these guys in positions, man, to beat guys with the styles that they had, and him and Kente took a lot of punches, but he's a handsome guy. Man, not only did he take a lot of punches, he delivered a lot. And I guess his chin held up, man. So I watched him fight, and he was better than what I give him credit for. Not to mention, I was on the phone with a guy that come up with him. He was telling me, hey, man, you got to watch him. If you watch him, you'll see him and Kente, one of my favorite fighters. Omar Johnson, he was telling me, one of my favorite. You see him. So I watched a lot of Kente fights the other day. I was pretty impressed with him. So I will go watch him fight because he is exciting. And he's good looking. So when you see good looking motherfuckers fight and they fight hard or win, you give them credit and respect because good looking motherfuckers are like girls. They don't really want to fight. They don't.
Hold on.
Craig's
a good looking guy.
You play basketball. Stop it.
Okay, but what about our producer, Craig? He's a good looking guy. What about
Let me see Craig. What do you look like? Let me see him. I'll let you know. Craig, let me see it. Because if you look like a fighter, you look like a damn fighter. We're not good looking until we get money. So what Craig look like?
I don't know where this is going, but what are we doing right now?
That's Vincent put me in there. I'm in Atlanta. I gotta stop talking like this, man. I'm getting a little uncomfortable. I'm just saying, fighters are considered good looking till we get that bag, man. We just fight until we get that money.
Okay, so since I'm light skinned, I'm out. And so what about Skip? Skip's 6'7", so he got too much body to hit.
Yeah, Skip, nobody wants your ass, man. You too big, man. You gotta go meet you. Yeah, you gotta go hang out with Vince and meet you a basketball chick. You too big, man.
Okay, yeah, so that's the last one. So how about we set up a sparring match between you and Craig?
How tall is Craig?
Why do you try to get me to fight?
He's about 6'1", 6'2".
Craig, what you weigh?
250.
Yeah, we put your Everlast shirt on. We could do something.
We could do something.
Yeah. You gotta put the Everlast shirt on because I want to look good. You know what I'm saying? When you start leaking, I want everybody to know Kady did that. It was self-inflicted. Yeah, you a big boy, man. You gotta put the Everlast shirt on. You do something. I was telling Tommy about a month ago, that he taught me years ago. Tommy used to tell me trouble and all of us in the back. He said, one thing you could do, he taught me to say shit like this. I mean, he said this shit way back in 87. He said, you could play golf, you can play basketball. We play basketball. He said, you play basketball, you can play tennis. Man, let me tell you something. You can't play boxing. And the way he said it, his eyes, he looked at all of us, man, to make sure it was about 8 of us back there. And we just looked at, he was serious to the motherfucker, like, damn, he met that shit and went out there and started training. None of us never played boxing. Man, listen, the father spoke. We all looked at him in the eyes, took it. I have never played boxing, man. I don't even play before I fight. I be so serious about boxing. Fear makes me very serious about the sport. Okay. This is what I understand. Listen, I don't know if you recorded this, Vincent, y'all, but I recorded Dooku Kim and Bobo Mancini fight. Remember that fight? Okay, I watched that fight live, and I didn't know I was.
You're on mute, Kady. You hit mute.
Well, that fight showed me that. So it made me really scary, Vincent. It made me really scared of boxing. But let me tell you what fear does. Fear makes you very good at boxing. But a lot of people don't know that. Because you got to remember that. You fear getting hit and you fear losing. Put them together, what do you have? A superb fighter that don't want to lose. So think about it. If you fear getting hit and you fear losing, I'm going to be at my best. And bam, everybody I know, man, listen, Eddie Carr trained me. Man, they'll tell you, Kady's scary to the motherfucker. Kady tough as hell on the streets. I do anything on the streets. But man, you ring that bell, Kady's scared to the motherfucker. But when you ring that bell, Kady gonna show up. See, no matter how scared I'm gonna show up because this is what you train me to do. So I won a lot of fights just off listening and doing what I was taught to do. It wasn't in me. I was just taught well, and they beat the shit out of me so good and crunk to where I wasn't let no outsiders beat the shit out of me. You gotta remember this, Vincent. I went to the Liberty Trials with like 14 fights. Come on, man. And I got those along the way. I got those while I was international, so I didn't know shit. And what was good about that, I was telling Ray Mercer, last time I was with him in South Carolina, he was saying the same thing. I said, Ray Mercer, let me tell you some real shit. When I first seen you and I heard you only had like 5 fights, he had turned open. He had 5 fights. So I had like probably about 9 of them. So I didn't know shit, he didn't know shit. So what I did, I watched him. And he was stopping everybody with a jab. I'm telling you the real shit. Ray Mercer didn't know shit. All he had was this, but he stepped with it. Every man, he stepped with it. And when he threw his right, it was like a hammer, but when it landed, it hurt you. So I would watch him make all the white boys bleed. He was beating up everybody. Tommy Morrison, he just beat up everybody, but he beat him up with brute strength and brutality, but he didn't know shit. So when I ran into him in South Carolina, I was telling him how I admired him and I paid attention to him. And he was trying to tell us how he didn't know nothing. I said, no, let me tell you what you did. All you did exactly what they taught you to do. Because you didn't know shit. I remember watching. You didn't even have nothing but a jab. And I did. I said, man, I watched him because I was scared. And with you not having a lot of fights, I didn't have a lot of fights. And we down here in the national, I got to watch people that's on my level. So I watched your ass. And you was beating everybody. Man, listen, he won it. He won the turn. He beat everybody. But I told him that. He was trying to tell me, he like, you know what, you right too. I said, yeah, that's how you beat everybody. You did exactly what you were taught. You didn't have no fears because you had confidence in that jab. So he was a bad boy, man. Ray Mercer came a long way. You know he ended up winning the gold medal? Yeah. I watched him do it. Listen, I actually watched him, Vincent, when he didn't know shit. From the National Golden Gloves all the way to the Liberty Trials. We was always running to each other. And I would watch him, and he didn't know why I was watching you. But I watched because you don't know shit. And I don't know shit. So I'm watching you win, and it's inspiring. Like, you know, boxing was real. So he was a bad boy. But let me tell you some guys I avoided. This is good in amateur. It was a white boy named John Scully. I didn't want none. This is going to blow your mind. He's a good-looking motherfucker. Now, how the fuck I'm going to be scared of a good-looking white boy? That's like Mark Wahlberg's brother. When they had this, listen, he was that good-looking, right? But when you ring the bell, Vincent, man, that motherfucker jump on your head. And man, listen, and he couldn't even punch. It's just how he fought and how he get at you, how he make you fight. No matter what you do, he gonna make you fight his fight. And what really impressed me one day, he fought a guy that I couldn't beat for shit, that even stopped me. Fabian Williams. You know, I couldn't beat Fabian Williams for shit. I watched John Scully fight him in the finals, in National Glove. Whoever win the fight get the gold medal. Fabian just beat me the day before. So I knew Fabian was gonna stop John Scully. No. Fabian was hitting John Scully hard, but John Scully was in Fabian Williams' ass like a motherfucker. I said, you know what? I'd rather get knocked out by that black motherfucker than to be in there with that white boy with that style, man. And he just really intimidated me. So I avoid him. I would get up early in the morning and go look at 168, 65 and see if I got to fight him. I bullshit out. Look on the bracket, avoid him. When I moved up light heavyweight, I started doing the same thing with Bomani Parker, Andrew Maynard, and I was looking for Egerton Marcus. Those are the 3 guys I worry about light heavyweight. Anybody else, I don't give a fuck, ring the bell. But them 3 guys, not that I was scared of them, because I'm going to fight them, Vince. Don't get it wrong, but I was scared of them. Really, I was scared of them. I was scared of them. But I'm going to still fight them. But those are 3 guys scared. So my amateur pedigree was really great. You know what I'm saying? Because I had to be honest with myself. You know what I'm saying? I was real with myself. Despite I'm intimidated, it's only because I don't know a lot. Despite I'm scared, it's only because I ain't fought a lot. It's not like I'm a punk-ass motherfucker. I could do it. No, in the basement, I can hold my own with all these guys. So ring the bell. That was my attitude. Well, man, I did a lot better than what I thought I did because I was just really serious. I was probably more serious than the guys that wasn't. And that's why I just really escalated. That's all it was. I like to talk like that.
I can tell you this, champ. I appreciate you. And we appreciate you for coming on because you always going to be big bro to me.
Always.
You know, I love you, man.
My producer, pull from the hip 4/5, I'm the shooter. Dog, I do ya. But the 2 don't discriminate, cause I shoot the guy next to ya.
I heard that podcast.